Animals are more unconscious because they cannot stand erect. And evolutionists say that man could evolve because he could stand erect on 2 feet. Because of that, he could become a little more aware. The gravitational pull is less. In Siddhartha, it is at its minimum. The body is inactive and passive, closed inside. It has become a world unto itself. Nothing is moving out, nothing is coming in. Eyes are closed, hands are locked, feet are locked, energy moves in a circle. And whenever energy moves in a circle, it creates the inner rhythm, the inner music. And the more you hear that music, the more you feel relaxed. Suppose your passive form to be empty, just like an empty room with walls of skin empty, and go on dropping into that emptiness. A moment will come sometime when you will feel everything has disappeared. There is no one, nobody. The house is vacant. The lord of the house has disappeared, evaporated. In that gap, in that interval, when you are not present inside, the divine will be present. When you are not, God is. When you are not, bliss is. So try to disappear. Try to disappear from within. Second technique, gracious one, play. The universe is an empty cell, wherein your mind frolics infinitely. Gracious one, play. The universe is an empty cell, wherein your mind frolics infinitely. Second technique is based on the dimension of play. That has to be understood. If you are inactive, it is good to fall into deep emptiness, into the inner abyss. But you cannot be empty the whole day, and you cannot be passive the whole day. You will have to do something. Activity is basically required, otherwise you cannot be alive. You cannot be alive. Life means activity. So you can be inactive for a few hours, but 24 hours you will have to be active. And meditation should be something which becomes your style of life. It should not be a fragment. Otherwise you will gain it and lose it. And whenever you can be inactive, in 23 hours you will be active. Active forces will be more, and they will destroy whatsoever you attain in your inactivity. The active forces will destroy it. And again the next day you will be the same. 23 hours you will accumulate the doer, and in 1 hour you will have to drop it. It will be difficult. So your mind must change the attitude about work also, activity also. Here's the second technique. Work should be considered as play, not as work. Work should be considered as play, just a game. You should not be serious about it. Just like children play meaninglessly. Nothing is to be achieved as if. Just the very activity is enjoyed. You can feel the distinction if sometimes you play. When you work, it is different. You are serious, burdened, responsible, worried, anxious, because the result, the end result, is the motive. The work itself is not worth enjoying. The real thing is just in the future, in the result. In play, there is no result really. The very process is blissful. And you are not worried. It is not a serious thing. And even if you look serious, it is just pretending. In play, you enjoy the very process. In work, the very process is not being enjoyed, the goal, the end. The process has to be tolerated anyhow. It has to be done because the end is to be achieved. If you can achieve the end without this, you will drop activity and you will jump to the end. But in play, you will not do that. If you can achieve the end without playing, then the end will be futile. It has some meaning only for the process. For example, 2 football teams are on the ground. They can decide just by throwing a coin, the who wins and who is defeated. Why go in such much effort unnecessarily, exerting yourself? The thing can be decided very easily just by dropping a coin. The end will be there. One team wins, another is defeated. Why work for it? But then there will be no meaning, no significance. End is not meaningful. The very process is the meaning. Even if no one wins and no one is defeated, the game was worth. The activity in itself is enjoyed. This dimension of play has to be applied to your whole life. Whatsoever you are doing, be there in that activity so totally that end is irrelevant. It may come, it has to come, it will come. But it is not on your head, on your mind. You are playing. You are enjoying. That's what Krishna means when he says to Arjuna, leave the future in the hands of divine. The result of your activity in the hands of divine. You simply do. This simple doing, it becomes a play. That's what Arjuna finds difficult to understand. Because he says, if it is just play, then why kill? Why fight? He understands what work is. He cannot understand what play is. And Krishna, his whole life is a play. You cannot find such a non-serious man anywhere. His whole life is just a play, a game, a drama. He is enjoying everything, but he is not serious about it. He is enjoying it intensely, but not worried about the result, what happens, that is irrelevant. To understand Krishna, it is difficult for Arjuna because he calculates. He thinks in terms of the end result. He says in the beginning of Gita that this whole thing seems to be absurd. On both the sides, my friends, my relatives are standing to fight. Whosoever wins, it will be a loss. My friends, my relatives will be distracted. Even if I win, it will not be worth. Because to whom I am going to show my victory? Victories are meaningful because friends will enjoy, relatives, families. There will be no one. The victory will be just over dead bodies. Who will appreciate it? Who will say, Arjuna, you have done a great deed? So whether I am victorious or I am defeated, it seems absurd. The whole thing is nonsense. He wants to renounce. He is dead serious. And anyone who calculates will be dead serious. This setting of Gita is unique. War is the most serious affair. You cannot be playful about it because lives are involved, millions of lives are involved. You cannot be playful. And Krishna insists that even there, you have to be playful. You don't think about what will happen in the end. You just be here and now. You just be a warrior playing. You don't get worried about the result. The result is in the hands of the divine. That is not the point whether the result is in the hands of the divine or not. The point is it should not be in your hands. You should not carry it. If you carry, then your life cannot become meditative. This second technique says this is one play. Let your whole life be just a play. The universe is an empty cell, wherein your mind frolics infinitely. Your mind goes on playing infinitely. The whole thing is just like a dream into an empty room. Meditating, one has to look at the mind just frolicking. Just like children playing, jumping out of overflowing energy, that's all. Thoughts jumping, frolicking. Just a play. Don't be serious about it. Even if a bad thought is there, don't feel guilty. Or there is a very great thought, very good thought, that you want to serve humanity and transform the whole world, and you want to bring the heaven on earth. Don't get too much. Don't get too much ego through it. Don't feel that you have become great. This is just a frolicking mind. Sometimes it goes down, sometimes it comes up. Just overflowing energy taking many shapes and forms. Mind is just an overflowing spring, nothing else. And be playful. See what is? This is one, be playful. The attitude of the player means he is enjoying the activity. It is good in itself. No profit motive is involved. He is not calculative. Just look, a businessman. Whatever he is doing, he is calculating about the profit. What he is going to attain out of it. A customer comes. The customer is not a person. What can be profited out of him? He is just a means. How can he be exploited? Deep down he is calculating. What is to be said, what is to be done is everything calculated. Just to manipulate. Just to exploit. He is not concerned with this person. He is not concerned with the deal. He is not concerned with anything. He is concerned only for the future, the profit. Look in the east. Still, in the villages. Even a businessman is not just a profit maker. And the customer has not come just to purchase something. They enjoy it. I remember my old grandfather. He was a cloth merchant. And I was puzzled. My whole family was puzzled because he enjoyed it so much. Hours together. It was a game with the customers. Something worth 10 rupees and he will ask 50 rupees for it. And he knows this is absurd. And his customers knew. And they know that it must be near about 10 rupees and they will start from 2 rupees. And long giggling will follow. Hours together. My father, my uncles will get angry. What is going on? You simply say what is the price. But he had his own customers. When they will come, they will ask, where is Dada? Where is grandfather? Because with no one. With him it is a game, a play. Whether we lose 1 rupee or 2 more or less, that's not the point. But they enjoyed it. The very activity in itself was something worth pursuing. 2 persons communicating through it. 2 persons play a game. And both know it is a game. A fixed price is possible. In the West now they have fixed prices because they are more calculating and more profit motivated. They cannot conceive why waste time. The thing can be settled within minutes. There is no need. You can just write the exact price. Why? Hours together fight for it. But then the game is lost. Then the whole thing becomes routine. Even machines can do it. The businessman is not needed. The customer is not needed. I have heard about one psychoanalyst. He was such a busy man. And he had so many patients that it was difficult to have personal contact with everyone. So he will feed his tape recorder for a particular customer, a particular patient. And that tape recorder will say whatsoever the psychoanalyst wants to say to the patient. Once it happened, he had a very rich man who was his patient. And it was his appointed time. And this psychoanalyst was entering a hotel. Suddenly he saw the patient sitting there. So he asked, what are you doing here? It was your time with me. The patient said, I'm such busy that I have fed my own tape recorder. Those both tape recorders are talking to each other. Whatsoever you have to say to me, my tape recorder will record it. And whatsoever I have to say to you, your tape recorder will record it from my tape recorder. This saves time, and we are both free. If you are too much calculating, then puzzles disappear. More and more mechanicalism comes in. Even now, in villages in India, higgling goes on. It's a game. And just enjoy it. You are playing. It is a match between two intelligences. And two persons come in deep contact. But it is not time-saving. Games can never be time-saving. And in games, you don't worry about the time. You are carefree. And whatsoever is going on, you enjoy it right in that moment. Being playful is one of the deepest bases of all meditative processes. But we are business-like. We are trained for it. So even when we meditate, we are looking for the end, for the result. And whatsoever happens, you will be unsatisfied. People come to me and say, yes, meditation is growing, progressing. I'm feeling more happy, a little more silent, at ease. But nothing else is happening. What nothing else? I know this man is bound to come someday. He will say, yes, I'm feeling nirvana. But nothing else is happening. I am blissful, but nothing else is happening. What nothing else? He is looking after some profit. And unless some very visible profit comes into his hands, something which he can deposit in a bank, he cannot be satisfied. Silence, happiness are so vague. You cannot possess them. You cannot show them to anyone. Every day it happens, people come to me and they say yes. But they are sad. They are expecting something which should not be expected even in business, and they are expecting it even in their meditations. The business mind comes into meditation with the whole training of business. What profit can be made out of it? He is not playful. And if you are not playful, you cannot be meditative. Be more and more playful. Waste enough time in playing. Just playing with children will do. Even if there is no one, you can alone jump and dance in the room and be playful. Enjoy. But your mind will go on and say, what you are doing, wasting time. You can earn something out of this time. You can do something. And you are just jumping, singing and dancing. What are you doing? Have you gone mad? Try it. Snatch whatsoever time you can get out of your business and be playful. Whatsoever. You can paint. You can play on a sitar. Anything you like. But be playful. No profit out of it. No future in it. Just the present. And then you can be playful inside also. Then you can jump on your thoughts, play with them, throw them here and there, dance with them, but don't be serious about them. There are two types of people. One, who are just unconscious as far as their mind is concerned. Whatsoever happens in their mind, they are unconscious. They are drifting in it, without knowing where the mind leads to them. If you can be aware of any track, you will be just puzzled what is happening. Mind moves through associations. A dog barks on the street. The bark comes to your head, and now you have started. You may move to the very end of the world through this barking of the dog. You may remember some friend who had a dog. Then this dog is dropped. Then that friend has come into the memory. Then he had a wife. And the wife was beautiful. And now you are moving. And you can go to the very end of this world and you will never remember that just a dog played a trick on you. Just barked and put you on the track. And you started to move. And you will be simply feel awkward. What scientists say about it? They say that this track is fixed in your mind. If the same dog, in the same situation, barks again, you will follow this track again. The friend, the dog, the wife beautiful. And you will go again. Now they have tried many experiments with electrodes on the human brain. They touch a particular spot in the brain. Then a particular memory is released. Suddenly you see you are 5 years old playing in a garden, running after a butterfly. And then the whole sequence. And you feel pleasant, everything nice. The air, the garden, the smell, everything comes alive. It is not simply memory, you relive it. Then the electrode is pulled out, the memory stops. Again the electrode touches the same spot, the same memory starts again. You are again 5 years old, in the same garden, the same butterfly, the same smell, the same sequence of events. Electrode is pulled out, the memory disappears. Put the electrode in the same spot, the memory again. Just as if you are remembering something mechanically. And then always it starts from the beginning and ends to a particular end. Again, it starts from the beginning. Just like as you record something on the tape recorder. And your brain has millions of memories, millions of cell recording. And this is all mechanical. These experiments in human brain are very strange and very revealing. And this memory can be revived again and again, again and again. One experimenter tried for 300 times, and the memory will come the same. It is recorded. And again when he tried, the person on whom the experiment was done became aware, and he felt very, very weird, because he is not the master. He cannot do anything. When the electrode touches, the memory starts. He has to see it. 300 times by and by, he became a witness. He started seeing it. But then he was aware that he is different and this memory is different. This experiment can be helpful, very helpful for meditators. Because then you know your mind is nothing but a mechanical recording around you. You are separate. And this mind can be touched. Now scientists say that sooner or later, we will cut all the centers which give you anguish, anxiety. Because again, the same thing touches, and the whole thing has to be lived. I have been trying with many disciples, many experiments. The same thing, do the same thing, and then move in the same vicious circle. Again and again, again and again. Unless they become a witness that this is a mechanical thing. You are aware. Say to your wife the same thing. After every week, the same thing, and she will react. Again, after 7 days, when she has forgotten, say the same thing. She will react, and then record. The reaction is going to be the same. You know, your wife knows. A pattern becomes fixed. And then it goes on. Even a dog can move your pattern, just by barking. Something is hit, one electrode has entered. You have started on a journey. If you are playful in life, then you can be playful inside with the mind also. Then look, as if you are watching something on a TV screen. You are not involved. You are just a spectator, onlooker. Look and enjoy it. Don't say good, don't say bad, don't condemn, don't appreciate, because those are serious things. A naked woman comes on the screen. Don't say this is bad. Some devil is playing trick upon you. No devil is there to play trick upon you. Look at it as if just on the screen, a film screen. And be playful about it. Say to the lady, wait. Don't try to push her out, because the more you push out, the more she will come. Ladies are difficult. And don't follow her. If you follow, then you will be in trouble. Don't follow, don't fight. This is the rule. Just look and be playful. Just say a good hello or good morning, and just look. And don't be disturbed at all. Let the lady wait. She will go by herself as she has come. She moves on her own. She is not related to you. Just something in the memory. Struck by some situation, she has come there. Just a picture. Be playful with it. If you can be playful with your mind, the mind will drop very soon. Because mind can be there only if you are serious. Seriousness is the link, the bridge. This is one, play the universe. The universe is an empty cell wherein your mind frolics infinitely. Third technique, sweet-hearted one, meditate on knowing and not knowing, existing and not existing. Then leave both aside that you may be. Meditate on knowing, then on not knowing, existing and not existing. Meditate on the positive aspect of life, and then on the negative. Then put aside both, because you are neither. Then leave both aside that you may be. Look at it in this way. Meditate that you are born. A child is born. You are born. You grow. You become young. Meditate on this whole growth. Then you become old. Then you die. From the very beginning when you are born, imagine the very moment when your father and mother conceived you into the womb of the mother you came. Just the first cell. From there, look to the very last, when your body is burning on a funeral pyre and all your relatives are standing around you. And then put aside both. The one who was born and one who has gone dead. Just put aside both and then look within. There you are, who is never born and who is never going to die. Knowing, not knowing, existing, not existing. Then leave both aside that you may be. You can do it on any positive, negative polarity. Any. You are sitting here, I look at you, I know you. Then I close my eyes, you are no more there, I don't know you. Then the knowledge that I had known and this knowledge that I don't know, put aside both. You will be empty. Because when you put knowledge and non-knowledge both aside, you will be empty. There are two types of people. Some are filled with knowledge and some are filled with ignorance. There are people who say, we know. They have their ego bound with their knowledge. And there are people who say, we are ignorant, but they are also egoistic. They are filled with their ignorance. They say, we are ignorant, we don't know. One is identified with knowledge, another is identified with ignorance. But both possess something. Both cherish something. Put both aside, knowing, not knowing. You are neither. Not ignorant, not knowing. Put aside both positive and negative. Then who you are, suddenly the who will be revealed to you. You will become aware of the beyond, that which transcends. Putting aside positive and negative both, you will be empty. You will be no one. Neither wise nor ignorant. Put hate and love both aside. Put friendship, enmity both aside. When both the polarities are put aside, you are empty. And this is the trick of the mind. It can put one aside, never the two both. It can put one aside. You can put ignorance aside, then you cling to knowledge. You can put pain aside, but then you cling to pleasure. You can put enemies aside, but then you cling to the friends. And there are few people who go just the reverse. They will put friends aside and cling to the enemies. They will put love aside and will cling to hate. They will put wealth aside and will cling to poverty. And they can put knowledge, scripture aside, and then they will cling to ignorance. These people are great renouncers. So whatsoever you cling, they put it aside. And they cling to the opposite, but they cling all the same. And clinging is the problem, because if you cling, you cannot be empty. Don't cling. This is the message of this technique. Just don't cling to any positive negative. Non-clinging, you will find yourself. You are there. Because of clinging, you are hidden. Non-clinging, you will be exposed. You will be uncovered. You will explode. Fourth technique, enter space, supportless, eternal, still. Enter space, supportless, eternal, still. Three qualities of space have been given in this technique. Supportless. There can be no support in space. Eternal. It can never end. Still. It will be soundless. It will be silence. Enter this space. It is within you. But the mind always asks for support. People come to me, and if I say to them, just sit silently with closed eyes and don't do anything, they ask some alamban, some support. Give me some mantra as a support, because I cannot sit. Just sitting is difficult. Give them a mantra, then it is okay. They can go on repeating the mantra. Then it is easy. With support, you are never empty. That's why it is easy. Anything goes on, you are doing something. Doing, the doer remains. Doing, you are filled. You may be filled with Omkar, Om, Ram, Jesus, Ave Maria, or anything. You may be filled with anything. But you are filled, then you are okay. Mind resists emptiness. It wants always to be filled by something, because if it is filled, it can be. If it is not filled, it will disappear. In emptiness, you will attain to no mind. That's why support. Mind asks for support. And if you want to enter inner space, don't ask for support. Drop all supports. Mantra, gods, scriptures.